A prominent Black podcaster is sending out a call to all Black Americans to leave the United States and head to Africa, all in response to the verdict in the Carmelo Anthony case. Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about podcaster Larry Reid. Now, he's a prominent Black podcaster, and he's now calling for a mass exodus from the United States. He's telling all Black Americans it's time to take every single benefit you can get from this country and then head on over to Africa. Where? I don't know, but let's listen to the clip.
And I want you to begin to think about this America and the white people problem that we have. I'm going to make a statement. We know that Martin Luther King, the beginning of his work was all about integration. We do know that later on that did change. Integration has had great benefits. I think now, unless you must stay in America, unless you are supposed to be in the USA. Otherwise, if you're Black, integration has had great benefits. I'm telling you, and I'm saying this as a collective, let's drain this place of its benefits and make our mass exodus and go home and build.
Okay, by go home and build, he means head over to Africa. And I'm always really confused by this whole conversation. My first question is, where in Africa are you talking about? Africa is a continent, and a very, very large continent at that. And so often in these conversations, especially amongst Blacktivists and left-leaning people, this idea of going back to Africa is just like this amorphous thing that's floating around in the heads of people because of the transatlantic slave trade and where Black people came from in this country. And instead of really laying out what you mean by go back to Africa, they just sort of throw it out. Like, that's our homeland. That's where we're meant to be. Okay, where? Okay, when? Okay, what do you think the difference is going to be between there and the United States? I have a feeling once you get there, you will be longing to be back in America. There's virtually no better place to be as any human being in the world, let alone a Black person, than the United States of America. And I think we function under this false assumption that Africa somehow has something more to offer Black people because of history in the transatlantic slave trade. I mean, go ahead and try it. Move to Africa, see how you do. We did hear from one lady who tried that. I'm gonna play her video now.
But y'all, I'd rather go back to America and deal with the racism in America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bribery, the fraud, the scams, the too expensive, the not having no snacks, the not having no food, electricity, the hot water, the what's that called that be coming down? The animals and scorpions outside the house. It's big ass spiders. It's big ass lizards, colorful lizards you ain't never seen before. All in the room with you, sleeping with you. All the people trying to scam you when you go outside, thinking you rich. So they trying to get more money off of you.
Africa is a huge continent with lots to offer, many different people. I really do wonder what people are talking about when they say that Black Americans need to go to Africa and what they're expecting to experience. In many areas, there's lots of crime, lots of violence, lots of corruption, and unlike America, no recourse to seek justice. And we'll get to how that factors into the Carmelo Anthony case and the response, the insane response to it, might I add, in just a moment. But let's keep watching.
And go home and build. I repeat, integration has had great benefits, Black people. For some of us, let's drain this place of its benefits and make our mass exodus and go home and build. See, civil rights did not make white people that are infected with whiteness stop being racist.
White people that are infected with whiteness. Imagine saying that about any other race. Yet white people are the racist ones, not the Black Americans that are espousing these values and ideas. Let's truly try to work that through our brains. Who sounds more racist here? Him or the average white person here in the United States of America? The answer is him.
They still raised racist children that run this country to this day. The Civil Rights Act just made social discrimination federally illegal in key areas of American life, housing, voting, and such. It changed what was lawful, what was punishable, and what rights Black Americans could legally demand and defend. That's it. And now those rights at the federal level, there's an attempt to roll them back.
Who at the federal level is attempting to roll back the civil rights movement, is attempting to strip Black people of their inalienable rights? Who exactly is attempting to do that? I need that to be really laid out for me so I can hear the argument that's being made here. Now, he claims that the racists of America's past have raised the racists of America's present. I think this is a clear insinuation that not only Austin Metcalf is racist, but his family is racist. The court system that Carmelo Anthony was put through is racist. The jury selection was racist. When in reality, the case and the verdict behind this case is proof that we have actual justice in this country. And had Carmelo Anthony stabbed another Black kid, which I guess nobody can fathom in their brains right now, given the racial dynamics of this case, you would want Carmelo Anthony in prison for what he's done. You would want the guilty verdict. But because it was a white kid named Austin Metcalf, people are suddenly up in arms and saying that there needs to be a mass exodus of Black people from the United States of America? Huh? And when we strip away the talk and pontification about the civil rights movement and integration and just how much it benefited Black Americans up until a certain point, the argument that's really being made here is that Austin Metcalf should have been stabbed in the chest by Carmelo Anthony, and Carmelo Anthony should have been able to get away with stabbing him in the chest. That's truly the argument that's being made here. And because that's not the reality, because we have laws set in place that protect people and that seek out justice in cases like this, Black Americans should leave for Africa? Okay. There are many places in Africa where I'm sure you could get away with stabbing somebody in the chest. And although we're being super reductive in talking about Africa as a whole, as it is an entire continent, and that's a whole separate part of this conversation that I've already addressed, I'm sure there are many places that you could go as a Black American in Africa and stab somebody in the chest during an altercation, and you could get away with it. If you think that's justice, please head over there. But let it be made clear, the vast majority, if not all, of the Black Americans that support this message and support the ideas behind this message, you're not going to be wanted in Africa. Africans are going to look at you and say, hell no, don't come here with those ideas. And thank goodness, America is not bending to the whims and the legal arguments of these people, because we have systems set in place that are meant to protect all of us, including Black victims in these circumstances. All this to say, if Austin Metcalf was not a white boy, we would not be having this conversation. But let's continue.
Integration has had great benefits. Let's drain this place of its benefits and make our mass exodus and go home and build.
It seems like step one has already been accomplished by many in this group. You are draining this country of its benefits in many ways, shapes, and forms. Where's the second part? Where's the mass exodus part?
This land ain't rich enough to hold who you are. You come from a land that flows with milk and honey. They poured you out of that land ancestrally and brought you to a place to where your royalty was not recognized.
Where your royalty was not recognized. This place is not rich enough to hold who you are as people. Now, all of this sounds so beautiful. The land of milk and honey. Oh, this land is not rich enough. Oh, you're too royal for this place. Remember again where this argument is stemming from. A 17-year-old stabbing another 17-year-old in the chest. That's where this argument is coming from. That's where this land is not rich enough, where you're too royal, where you must head to the land of milk and honey and drain this place, meaning the United States, of all of its benefits. It's just amazing the amount of just mental gymnastics we can do and the amount of verbiage we can throw out to make it sound like Black is beautiful and Black power and they just don't understand us. But at the end of the day, the true argument being made is just an argument for murder. That's literally it. That's all we're listening to right now.
Used your Black power, your Black mysticism, your African spirituality, and your physiological superiority to build this country.
Black power, black mysticism, and physiological superiority. Where have I heard things like that before? Right, Nazi Germany, you know, with the Aryan race. You guys are black supremacists. If you believe in this, you are a black supremacist. Yet we're getting told over and over that white supremacy is the real issue, that white people are infected with whiteness, that they have an inherent racism that they simply can't get rid of no matter what they do, and they're raising their kids to be racist. All while you're able to say this on a very prominent black podcast to your black listeners. But by all means, test the Africa theory if that's what you truly believe in. If you truly think you were stripped away from your homeland and your black power, mysticism, physiological superiority cannot truly be shown unless in that homeland, then go. I think a lot of people are under the misconception that Africa's like Wakanda or something, but try it. Okay.
And give everybody reparations except you. Don't believe that America don't give reparations. They do to the tune of billions, just never gave it to us. This country was created to rape, pillage black.
Oh my gosh. You know what, guys, when I hear arguments like this, I'm thinking, boy, should we have paid out the 40 acres and a mule that were promised back then, and all the reparation plans that came through should have been followed through on, because this is used as an excuse for so much awful behavior currently as we stand in the United States of America. It is used consistently as a marker of black victimhood that nobody is able to run away from. I've always said you cannot pay reparations now. The people who are arguing for this were never enslaved. The people that they want the money from were never enslavers, and that alone makes this entire thing ridiculous. But oh my goodness, did we miss the boat on paying reparations a long, long time ago.
So unless you got an assignment from spirit or something divine that is telling you to stay here, your duty is to begin charity at home.
Okay. That is luckily the end of the clip. Now, is anybody going to follow through on this and move to Africa? No. Do any of these people even know what they're talking about or arguing for when they make that claim? I really don't think so. I've yet to hear it laid out in a way that sounds coherent in the slightest. It's just this thing that people throw out every single time this narrative of black oppression pops back into the news, back onto our social media feeds, back into the activist field of things, and we just throw it out to throw it out. But again, by all means, try it out. The funny thing is there are plenty, and I mean plenty, of Africans who would take your place here in the United States and swap with you. They are clamoring to get into this racist, white nationalist, white supremacist country, which baffles me. Are the Africans trying to come here stupid? I'm sure there are many other places that one could go where they may find more success than in the United States. Given your individual circumstances, who knows where is best for you? But I have seen time and time again, as people leave the US and head to other countries, they're confronted with other issues that they do not face here in the United States. They're faced with social, cultural, political, criminal justice-based issues in other countries that they would never face here in the United States. And on the subject of racism, oftentimes you move to another country and find it's way more racist than anything you could have ever imagined here in the United States of America. And in the case of Africa specifically, although there's so many places in Africa and every single place is so different, wait till you experience corruption or discrimination at the hands of somebody who has the same skin color as you, and you can't blame it on being black. That would be a true test for many of these individuals who make anything and everything about their skin color. Please go somewhere where you cannot do that anymore, and I want to see how you do. And with that being said, if a 17-year-old stabbing a white kid in the chest and going to prison for that makes you want to leave the United States of America, go for it. I would imagine this country would be better off. Guys, those are my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, if you disagree with anything I said in this video, do get out, but do so respectfully. I encourage healthy debate on the channel. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video for you guys, which is every day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.